What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Wreck Bike Rebuild, episode 13.5 or 14, something like that. We're here at Mountain Motorsports. It is early as hell in the morning. I just sat through an hour's worth of traffic, so let's hope the day gets a little better. Roll the intro. Let's go tear a monster down. Behind us we have the monster people. We're about to get it up on the lift and get today started. I've been told there will be some sketchy things going on. So I've got this camera that I film with all the time. I've got my kind of big, I don't have to get close to show you guys with that. And then, that's gonna stay. I'm gonna set this little GoPro session up. I think it's going to go here, so I'll set this session up somewhere over there. And now we will have time-lapse footage of the entire thing that will go by really quickly. I have no clue how I'm going to edit that, but I'll figure it out at some point.
A pile that big of parts, I like to lay everything out and see what I have. Yep. And then as I work through it, I like to see that pile diminish. It kind of, keeps me moving at a good pace.
And it gives you that incentive, like you get to see the...
Getting closer and closer to the end.
Yep. For you guys that didn't watch the last episode, this is Brian. He's the Ducati genie that will be working on the monster. You excited, Brian?
Very excited.
Brian has heard of how bad I did a job on the monster, so he's super motivated to do everything correctly. Is going to work is it's going to take a photo every 5 seconds, and the battery on the sessions should last a pretty long time if it's only doing photos, so hopefully it'll get a lot of work in those shots. Hopefully. We'll find out. The parts table. I need really epic cinematic music. I feel wrong.
Part.
Yeah, you can hold. So the little white box is an alarm system. We're getting an alarm system put on the bike. We will not be showing the alarm system. I'm not going to tell you guys the type of alarm system, but it is a good one, and it is expensive, and it works very well. So that's all you're gonna know. So suck it. This is the sketchy part you were talking about?
Yes, sir.
It feels like a normal Wreck Bike Rebuild episode right now. So Brian, care to explain why the motorcycle is all crooked?
So we're having an oil leak from this cover. So instead of draining the engine oil out of it and then cleaning the surfaces and reinstalling, I'm going to try and save all the fresh oil that's in the motor.
Gotcha.
Lean it over so it doesn't dribble out the side of the engine case when I pull the cover off, and you save yourself $50 in high-grade oil.
Fair enough. So leaning the bike over that much is enough to...
Not yet.
Oh.
It's still working.
Oh, Jesus.
That should do it.
So that should be enough to like be able to take that casing off, and so there's not really that much oil, just because in my head, like the oil is just filled to like right there at all times.
If you look on this side, here's the sight glass.
Yeah.
How far down from here the oil pan, if you will.
Oh, I guess that's a good point. Yeah. I mean,
so if you come around to this side,
yeah,
and you kind of compare it visually, the sight glass is about here.
Gotcha.
So hopefully that's enough to save the majority of the oil. I'll probably still have some drip out.
Yeah, but
not nearly as much.
I am not going to do this on Direct Bike Rebuild intentionally. If it happens accidentally, I mean, what can you do? Look at the lean. Yeah, right. They did it at Mountain Motorsports. I should be able to do it. Should be totally fine. Yeah, I'm not going to be doing that. My lift would tip over, and then I'd be like...
This is also the reason why I cleaned my lift before I did this.
Ah, so it's not slippery.
So it's not slippery.
Ah, see, this man was thinking about it the whole time. He's like, I'm gonna do some sketchy shit, and I'm gonna make sure I'm set up to do the sketchy shit.
Switching to the big camera.
Leaning the bike over that much, and that's all the oil that came out. That is insane.
That's it.
Holy crap. So all those times where I was like, I'm gonna drain the oil, and then I mean, I couldn't have done this with my lift at home, but
You probably could have.
I'll save it for season 3, Wreck Bike Rebuild. I'm gonna do a shout out. Be like, all right, if this goes bad,
So
Brian said it could.
all of this
Yes.
is very no good.
Very no good.
Because if you look, see that hole right there?
Yes.
That goes down into the bottom of the cases
Okay.
where your oil pump and everything else is. So if this stuff starts to peel off,
Gotcha.
it goes down into that hole.
So how do you
And
avoid
clogs your-
putting too much on there? Like, what's the strategy for putting on the right amount of
I only
sealant?
put sealant on one side,
Okay.
not both,
Gotcha.
and just enough that you can't see the metal.
This episode is going to be full of pro tips because it's an actual professional doing this stuff. Okay, back to the professional.
Is that just like a sharp chisel, or?
This is actually a gasket scraper.
Oh, so that's like a legit tool for what you're doing.
Yes, it is.
I don't know why I'm surprised when I
These
say
blades,
things like that.
these blades are stupid expensive. This is what we like.
Really? Okay.
I use this on a lot of stuff.
Yep.
It works really good. It is very messy. It does clean up, not too difficult,
Gotcha.
but I do very much like that stuff.
You're the professional, man. If you like it, I like it. So question, if somebody's doing their gasket shit, is it better if they are going to do less or more, like too little and too much? Is it better to do too much or too little?
Depends. The bottom half of this cover is obviously going to need to be sealed the best because the oil is there all the time.
Yep.
The stuff up here just gets splashes of
Splashes,
oil that come up off of everything while it's spinning.
Gotcha.
So it doesn't need to be sealed quite as tight at the top as it does at the bottom, although you want a perfect seal all the way around.
Ideally, yeah.
If you were to do this multiple times, you would notice that having a little bit less at the top is far less detrimental than having too little at the bottom of the cover.
Gotcha.
I'm pretty sure this is where your oil leak was coming from. You see how that's chewed up?
Yeah.
That's going to be really, really tough to get that to seal. I'm going to run a file across it.
Try to smooth it
Try
out.
and smooth it out. It looks like there's a little bit of material missing though.
This will get real interesting. Glad it's not me doing that.
cover off, you have to do this.
Gotcha. And this is like all bike wide, like any bike that you
Doesn't
do.
matter what it is, whether it's a paper gasket, no gasket and just sealant, regardless of what type of sealant it is, you need to clean your mating surfaces spotless.
So when I did that, I did not scrape it, I didn't clean it, and I didn't scrub the side of it. So now you know, every time you do a sealant, you gotta clean that stuff off. I know a lot of you guys said that in the comments, so you're right. Yay.
Oh, nice. That's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put that
all the way.
They're smaller too. Yeah, they're not that much smaller, I guess. But all carbon versus that tip,
Yeah.
that's gonna look so much better.
So, I mean, as far as compromises on exhausts, it's not bad.
That is how a this area should look before you reapply gasket. Unlike that, which is what it looked like when I put the gasket on. You're doing a great job, Brain.
Brain.
Did you use that on that side just because you had more room to work or something?
Here's why. You can't do that over there.
Fair enough. What is this that you're spraying?
This is just contact cleaner.
Oh.
If you go back and watch how I was doing that sealant stuff versus how it's working with Brian right now, it is insane the difference at how easy that's going on versus the terrible time I had with mine. So cleaning, so freaking important. That cover was put on 2 different times by me.
What's the torque spec for it?
Come on, Brian. We both know that. There's no way I know that.
Come on, what do you mean?
I
Put
know
it on
that.
twice already.
You're right. I'm gonna say 35 foot-pounds.
Hold that right there.
Yes, sir. I'm really good at this.
Given really simple jobs.
This is like the contest.
It is.
Wait, we're good? Ha! I succeeded.
Did it start spinning?
Yep.
All right, that's step 1 of 45 complete.
All right. Can we get like an achievement unlocked? Step 1 down. Step 2 next. So what's step 2, Brian?
We're gonna have to take a look at your list and find out exactly where we are for step 2.
That's when you know it's good times. You don't even know what's next. You got a list of shit, and you're like, all right, we'll worry about that when we get back to the list.
I think we might do the valves and belts next.
Ooh, this is exciting. This is
think
going to
that'll be
be
next.
uncharted territory.
air-powered Dremel.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
They refer to it as a pencil grinder.
Pencil grinder. So what Brian did was opened up these little slots here on this little middle carbon fiber piece because that's an aftermarket piece. These are OEM fairings, and the little tabs inside of there were those openings weren't big enough to hold the tabs.
So now whoever gets the bike, if you have the unfortunate reason to take the gas tank fairings off, they will actually be able to come off now instead of you hating your life for approximately 20 minutes trying to get tabs off. You're welcome.
It's good thing only ran it for a second. That hose wasn't on all the way. They built a lot of it. There would have been fuel everywhere.
Brian, that was a secret that I put in there to test you, and you passed. Good job.
I'm not saying anything against you working on this thing, but those hoses are kind of a pain.
Yeah,
To get them to actually snap into place usually takes quite a bit of effort.
So what is this what are you taking apart now to get to the...
So I can pull this. This is the cover for the valve inspection.
Oh, okay.
So you kind of can't really get in there with that in the way.
And you'll be taking both of these off, I assume?
Yes. And then both the ones off of the front. I'm going to dismount the oil cooler and pull that out of the way. Remove the spark plugs so I can turn the motor over.
So all of that just to get access to those?
To that cover.
Just to that one, because this one you
this
could
one you
have...
can get to, and then the front has its own set of, we got to move a whole bunch of shit.
Oh, okay. So the front ones are right here and
up here, so I got to take the oil cooler out of the way. This cover, the regulator rectifier has to get unplugged and dismounted.
And this is just for the general inspection type thing at that mileage, right?
Correct.
Damn. No wonder that shit's so expensive.
Uh-huh.
Like the amount of time it takes just to get to the thing to check it is insane.
I think we could probably cut that down to that much wire. Which is a pet on there.
knowing me, yeah, probably.
Hey, look at all that space I got now.
So now you have access to these guys.
Yep, both of these covers. And then here, this bolt and this bolt. This is where the camshaft locking pin specialty tool goes in.
Okay.
So when I change the belts,
Yeah.
we make sure the cam gears are locked in their place so they can't move, and then everything will be out of timing. So you need to have access to all that stuff.
So what is happening here?
I'm actually turning the motor over.
Oh.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
That's the air getting pumped through the engine.
Gotcha. Wait, I can feel it.
Yeah, coming out of the spark plug hole. So instead of making compression, it's just pushing the air out.
Yeah. That's actually pretty cool.
You got lucky this thing's a 2009.
Why is that?
If it was an 05, I'd have to take the engine out. Or at least drop it down in the frame.
Y'all are just giving me notes on what bikes not to get from Dash Hub.
That's fine.
I'm gonna make it a thing. Next time I pick a bike from Dash Hub, I'm gonna call Brian and be like, "Hey, so I'm thinking about this 2012 R1. Is it laid down on the right side? Grab it."
As long as the frame isn't correct. Somebody's been in here recently. That is a brand new O-ring.
Really?
Yep. This is the rocker arm.
Okay.
This rocker arm opens the valve. This rocker arm down here at the bottom closes the valve.
Interesting.
So as you turn the motor over, the cam pushes on the other end of this rocker, pushes the rocker down, and lets the other one open at the same time. Then when you close it, cam does the same thing, closes this rocker arm and brings that other one up. So there are no springs in a Ducati cylinder head.
And that's
Everything's all mechanical.
okay, and that's not normal from.
This is the only manufacturer who does that.
Okay.
It is referred to as a desmodromic valve train.
Okay, so I've seen that a lot.
So this is where you see all the Desmo stuff from. This
Yeah.
is why.
Okay. That's interesting that the O-rings in here are brand new.
Yeah. So I have a feeling I'm going to go in here and I'm going to inspect your valves, and they're all going to be good because I think somebody's done it already recently.
Interesting. Because the valve job isn't for 7,500 miles, and this isn't even at 7 yet. It's at 69.
Doesn't mean that somebody didn't do it ahead of time.
Yeah. I mean, it's for somebody that put a Tooby on there, and
You know, I mean, termies could have gone on before the thing even left the dealership.
yeah, true. Good point. So somebody got the
in
bike
here.
inspected and then wrecked it.
Yep.
Jeez.
Most likely.
So you're gonna be able to get that off with, oh shit, okay.
While you're here, you see this yellow mark right there.
Yes.
Okay, so right here on the engine case, there's a little groove.
I see that groove.
So I'm going to go on the other side and turn the motor. Let me know when those two meet.
Gotcha. So I don't know if you guys can see. The mark is right there, the yellow mark is there, and that's what we're watching for.
Am I getting closer, or is it going the opposite?
You're going in the opposite direction.
Okay. So I'm going to have to go all the way around again.
All right, slow down.
I got to go all the way around.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let me know when I'm getting close now.
Okay, you've got about 70% of the way to go. Battery dying, must charge.
1/1500 7mm.
You can't eyeball that?
You can't even feel that. Feeler gauge goes through. And that is within spec.
Wow.
So you check the next size up to make sure the next size does not go through. And you're good. Well, if you ever want to adjust your own valves, this is how you do it, regardless of what you're doing.
Note to self, now I know I don't want to adjust my own valves. I would rather edit a video of a professional adjusting my valves. Next time y'all take your bike to get your valves adjusted and shit,
I know why it's so expensive.
yeah, that's why it's so expensive, and appreciate the people that have to do that. Unless you like enjoy and get off on doing shit like this. I don't know. No,
That
who
one's
am I
good
to
too.
say?
So I think we're good both sides.
Yeah. Yeah.
Opening
enough.
shims, closing shims are all within spec.
Yay!
I have to tell you, to replace those shims is way more work. Yeah.
Well, hey, that's why I picked a bike, because I knew this one looked like it had good shims. I looked at it and I was like, you know what? That's a bike with good shims. Brian's currently working on taking the belt off that's currently on there. We'll be replacing it with these brand new ones that we have here. Ducati belt analyzer. Look at that shit. One more reason you can't work on Ducatis in your own garage. Alright guys, so Brian's about to give us a lesson in soldering. Since he just cut, 15 feet of cable outside the motorcycle for the horn.
Bit of a twist. Yeah. Yes.
How long would that solder take to cool down?
About a half a second.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Here, I'll give you a little for instance on how fast this cools.
I thought that conversation was going to go into how bad it hurts. So I'm glad we went to that.
So we'll put a nice big blob
Okay.
right there.
Holy crap!
Did you get that?
Maybe.
I'm gonna do it again just in case you didn't.
Yeah, let me go wide, cause shit.
So, nice big blob.
Dude, okay, I have got to get me one of them. That was dope.
Our goal with the lights on this bike is just like to illuminate the engine. I'm not trying this underglow thing because I can't stand the way that looks, and I think a lot of other rider people don't appreciate that kind of thing either. It's not their look. So what me and Brian were just looking at was where to install these little red LEDs on the bike. And we're also gonna, are you gonna be able to install it with this little switch device thing?
You gotta turn them on somehow, right?
Fair enough. So supposedly there's a missing piece of this monster that I've never seen. So we're about to see what that piece looks like.
Yeah, we're gonna judge it. It's gonna be on a video.
So Luke happens to have the very similar monster to the Wrecked Bike Rebuild monster. So we're gonna go check it out to look at this fairing piece that is supposedly supposed to be there.
Oh, snap. Huh.
Let's say that we intentionally left it off because we like the natural, the hard look of the Denali sound bomb. Alright, so now that we've seen what it's supposed to look like, I gotta say, I do kind of like, all bullshit aside, I do kind of like the look of that. Mother freaker coming off. It is being replaced with that brand new Öhlins. Ouch! My God. Yes. I gotta admit, I'm very interested to see this whole removing the shock situation, because in my head,
Sounds difficult.
it's something that I was like, yeah, there's no way I can do that.
And I have got to get me one of these little jacks. I keep like seeing you guys use them and I get jealous.
Serious?
Sit. One nut, one bolt.
That shock didn't look too bad until you put it next to an Öhlins, and now it looks like a piece of shit. skin that's mean. Did that look like I drove the camera? Might be a cool transition. Boom. Oil and shock is installed, done. Mark it off the list. Brian's checking the list to find out what the next thing on it is. We can finish up today.
So our next big project, we're going to try to get the exhaust on, and we're going to try to get the LEDs installed. Then everything else we're going to push off to tomorrow, just like Brian pushed that box off the table. Man, even these are carbon fiber. Look at that fancy shit. Wow, that... See, that's the problem with carbon fiber, because it's so light, you're like, that's like, what, plastic or something. But it's super strong, so...
Well, it's not plastic, it's carbon.
Well, weight-wise, it seems as light as something that it doesn't feel like it would be strong. Goodbye, Termy. You've been good, but you know what? We needed all carbon fiber. If you weren't good enough. Damn, that shock is heavy as hell. Exhaust holder versus the new one. Much improved.
English and German.
Are saying Termies keep those, but Leo's looking pretty good. I gotta admit, when I see Brian pull out a black case, whatever the hell this shit is, that excites me a little bit. It also worries me about.
Keep it in your pants, all right, buddy?
All right, all right. What the hell is this?
I'm sure there's plenty of people that are watching your YouTube show that know exactly what this bad boy is right here.
Ooh, first person in the comments to comment what that thing is, you win a high five from Brian/Brain. No shit. That's normal. What the shit just happened? That's amazing.
So guys, this is the difference between DB killer, no DB killer.
Something's gonna break. Thank you.
Like a motherfucking boss.
I'm trying to figure out why the pipes are two different heights. No, they're not. This one's got a way thicker washer in it.
There it is. There you go, peeps. Leo Vents exhaust.
What do we think? What do we think?
They look f***ing good, that's what I think.
Just kidding, it doesn't matter because I have opinions and it's for now it's my bike, so I get to make all the choices. Luke, what do you think about these exhausts?
It's a real nice.
It's a real nice. Dude, carbon all day. Good job, Brain. Killed it. All right, exhaust, check. Next thing on the list. I am excited that you said that. because my God, it has been a long motherfucking day. Jesus Christ. All right, going outside for the outro. All right, guys, that brings us to the end of episode 14 of Wrecked Bike Rebuild. It is good to be making videos again. Holy shit, that was a long day. It is 7 o'clock. I got here at 9. Woo! Okay, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. If you guys enjoyed this series, there are a couple more episodes. You can win the freaking motorcycle that you just saw in there that is being put together by an absolute professional. I'm Chaseontwowheels. This is Wrecked Bike Rebuild episode 14. I will see you guys on the next video. I will see you guys tomorrow on the Patreon live stream for all you guys that are supporting the build. And that's it. Later.